Money in Argentina. So do you need physical cash when you're in Argentina, or can you just get by using debit or credit card? So in this video, I'm going to go through what you need in terms of money in Argentina. Now, first and foremost, what is the currency in Argentina? It is the Argentine peso. Now, I know that the current president has a plan to dollarize the country and eventually in years to come make the currency the dollar, but we'll see how that goes. But at the minute, you're going to need Argentine pesos. That is the currency of the day. But in terms of cash versus card, you can use debit and credit card in most places. So for example, most restaurants, most cafes, most bars, most supermarkets, but there are some places that will not accept card. So for example, taxis, for example, the Buenos Aires subway system. To top up your subway card, you need to use cash only, and also to buy the card in the first place, you have to use cash only. So there are places where you're just going to need to have some cash, and also bus journeys too. So how are you going to go about getting your cash? Because in most countries, you just go down to the ATM, you just go down to the bank, you queue up, you put your card in the machine, you take out your cash. There's probably going to be a bit of a foreign transaction fee, but that's what you would do in most countries. Now in Argentina, you don't want to do that. Two reasons. One, queues to get inside banks can be extremely long because of the current economic situation. And what you'll find in Latin America is that ATMs are actually inside banks rather than outside of banks for safety reasons, unlike Europe where you have ATMs just everywhere on the street. And also the second reason why you do not want to take out money from the ATM is because of the foreign transaction fees in Argentina. They are extremely high. So how are you going to get hold of Argentinian pesos for a reasonable exchange rate? What you should do is you should bring US dollars in cash with you. So before you come to Argentina, you need to get hold of some US dollars. Now, in terms of how many US dollars you're going to bring with you, I mean, that's really a calculation you need to do yourself. I would say bare minimum 20% of your budget for the trip in US dollars is what you should bring with you. Anything from 20% to 80% is what I would say, because you're going to exchange those US dollars into Argentine pesos. Now, one little bit of warning that I do need to mention before you bring your US dollars with you is you need to check with your accommodation how you are going to pay for your accommodation, because many apartments and hotels will only accept cash, and some will actually accept US dollars as well. So you may want to bring some extra US dollars to pay in cash for your accommodation. The majority of my accommodation apartments in Argentina when I was there were willing to accept US dollars in cash, and actually some of them preferred US dollars in cash. So I would say check with your apartment host or check with your hotel before you go to Argentina what currency they will accept and whether they accept physical cash or credit card or debit card. You do need to check that. Now, going back to in terms of how you exchange your US dollars, so you're going to bring anywhere between 20% to 80% of your budget in US dollars, bring that along with you. You then need to get in touch, ask your hotel, your apartment, your hostel. You need to ask them for a reliable cambio, a good cambio. A cambio is just an exchange house or an exchange person who will exchange your US dollars into Argentine pesos. Get in touch with your accommodation, ask them for a person or an exchange house where you can exchange your money, and that's where you're going to go to exchange your money. Your accommodation should know good cambio places nearby to where you're staying, and they will recommend where to go. Now, the rate you get with a trusted cambio should be a little bit better than the official rate. So that's why it's recommended that you do go to a cambio to exchange your US dollars, because you probably will get a little bit of a better rate than the official government rate. Now, there is actually a way you can save a little bit more money using the exchange rates. If you are thinking about a trip to Argentina, you've probably heard of something called the blue dollar rate. Now, the blue dollar rate is kind of like the black market exchange rate. This informal rate on the screen is the blue dollar rate, and you can see it's a little bit better than the official rate. So these rates are all taken today on the 16th of April 2024. And just to be clear, this is all relative to $1. So $1 gives you, for example, about 1,000 pesos on the informal blue dollar rate. Now, how do you get this blue dollar rate? The best way to access it would be to send yourself money via Western Union. So you have to set up a Western Union account. You have to send yourself US dollars to your Western Union account, and then you've got to go to a designated Western Union store, queue up and pick up your money that you sent to yourself. Now you can see if you do use Western Union, you save around 15% compared to using the official government rate. But as I said before, many of the cambios that your accommodation will know or recommend will actually offer you a good rate, which is kind of similar to this Western Union blue dollar informal rate anyway. So for me, I feel this Western Union method is a bit of a hassle. I didn't use this method. I just used either my debit credit card or used the cash that I got from a cambio. I did that instead of using Western Union because for me, it's just a bit of a hassle. Western Unions aren't always open. There's always specific hours of the day and days of the week in which they're open. So you've got to go on the right day of the week at the right time of the day. For me, it was just too much of a hassle. I didn't really feel bothered to do this. So I just used, as I said, my credit card or the cash that I got from the cambio. Now, if you are actually from the US or a territory that does use the US dollar as the official currency, you may actually find it beneficial just to take the majority or virtually all of your budget in cash in US dollars with you and just exchange that all for pesos when you arrive in Argentina. You may just prefer to do that. Though, little word of warning, if you are going to visit the Recoleta Cemetery in Buenos Aires, which is one of the top attractions to do there, you will need card to pay for that. They do not accept cash there. So there are a few attractions where you're actually going to need to use your credit card or your debit card. So I wouldn't necessarily take your entire full 100% budget in cash with you, but you can virtually take most of your budget with you in cash in US dollars if you are from a US dollar using country. However, if you are from a different country that doesn't use the US dollar, so for example, a European country on the euro or the UK using the pound, you may actually find that once you exchange your euros, your pounds, your other currency into US dollars and then exchange those US dollars into pesos, you may find that using your credit and debit card is virtually no different to exchanging your home currency into US dollars and then exchanging US dollars into pesos. You may actually find that it's just better and easier to use your credit card in most cases. That's what I was finding. I've got a Visa card, and using my Visa card, I was actually sometimes even saving money depending on my cambio where I exchanged my US dollars. Sometimes I was actually saving money just using my credit card and using the bank Visa rate rather than actually exchanging my British pounds into dollars and then exchanging dollars into pesos. So do be aware that if you're not from a US dollar using country, you may actually just want to use your card. But I guess overall, the general conclusion is that you are probably going to need both physical cash and credit card to get by and to see all the things that you want to see when you are in Argentina. But one more important thing about money and about visiting Argentina is this. If you are looking to make a bit more extra money to fund your trip to Argentina or anywhere else in the world, if you go to the description and also the comment section too, click on that top link. That top link is a link to a side hustle where you can make some extra money to fund your travels. It's a really easy side hustle to use. It's a side hustle that I use to make some extra money for my travels. I highly recommend it. So do check out that link. You can also book your flights to Argentina if you just look at that Skyscanner link there. Book your flights using Skyscanner. They are the world's best flight comparison site. You may also be interested in getting some luggage and some backpacks for your trip. Go to that link to level 8 where you can purchase backpacks, rucksacks, suitcases. You can also see a link to where you can get some travel insurance for your upcoming travels. Also, if you do need to brush up on your Spanish before you come to Argentina, you can go to the pre-apply link where you can learn a bit of Spanish. You do need some basic Spanish when you're visiting Argentina. Don't think you can come here and just use English everywhere, because most people do not speak a word of English. So you do need to know your basics to get by. And also do consider subscribing and following the rest of my socials as well if you are interested in more travel content there. But anyway, I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. I do hope that you have found this video useful for those of you who are coming to Argentina. Do let me know in the comment section if you are coming to Argentina sometime soon, or if you are from Argentina or if you visited recently. Do let me know in the comment section your money tips for travelers and tourists who are watching this video, because that will definitely help out people who are considering coming to Argentina. Again, I really do hope that you've enjoyed the video. Do click the like button. It really does help out the channel, and also subscribe for more travel content. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in my next video.